Time is not your friend. It is the silent assassin, shaving away pieces of your future with every second you spend doing nothing. You don't understand how real this is. Life is a war, and you're either building your kingdom or you're being ruled by someone else's. There's no in between. You're either stacking bricks toward power or drowning under the weight of excuses. I'll start next week. I'm not ready yet. I'm waiting for the right moment. Those are the lullabies that put your ambitions to sleep and lull your future into a coma. Wake up. There is no right moment. There is only now. And if you don't seize it with full aggression, someone else will. Someone else will wake up earlier, push harder, think sharper, and take the very thing you could have owned. Regret is not a punishment. It's a prison. And the longer you avoid your calling, the tighter it locks around your throat. You need to understand the cost of comfort. Every time you choose the couch over the grind, every time you silence your ambition to avoid judgment, every time you let fear dictate your decisions, you pay a tax. Not with money, but with destiny. Every empire unbuilt, every skill unmastered, every risk untaken piles up, and eventually you're crushed beneath the weight of what you could have been. That's the real horror, not failure. Wasted greatness. You could have been someone that reshaped history, inspired nations, led armies of men toward purpose, but instead you chose to scroll. You chose to settle. You chose to drown in comfort and call it peace. There is a fire inside you right now. I know you feel it. That restless urge, that quiet whisper that says you're meant for more. It's not fantasy. It's your soul screaming at you to wake the hell up. You weren't born to survive. You weren't built to coast. You were forged for war, for struggle, for the unrelenting pursuit of empire. And if you ignore that voice, if you suffocate that flame, you will decay. Not physically at first, but mentally, emotionally, spirit. You'll become one of those men who laugh on the outside and rot on the inside. You'll pretend everything's fine while your mind slowly dies from knowing you betrayed your own potential. Fear is a tool. Let it slice through your excuses. Let it keep you awake when laziness whispers you to sleep. Be afraid of dying before you've lived. Be afraid of waking up at 50 and realizing you spent your prime worshiping weakness, obeying mediocrity, and letting life slap you around like a slave. Use that fear. Let it mold you. A man who fears being average will never settle for less than legendary. That's the mindset. That's the engine behind greatness. Don't numb it. Embrace it. Let it fuel you like a storm. There's the truth you're not ready to admit. You are one decision away from changing your entire life. But that decision won't come when it's easy. It comes when it's painful, when your body screams rest and your mind whispers more. It comes when you feel like giving up but choose to keep swinging. That's the test. That's the separation between the broken and the built. Most men will break. Most men will run. Most men will never face themselves in the mirror and admit they've been weak. Don't be most men. You are not meant to be a consumer. You are meant to be a creator. Stop watching others build empires while you fantasize from the sidelines. That life you envy, that power you crave, it's on the other side of sacrifice. And the longer you delay, the more brutal the climb becomes. But if you begin now, if you stop lying to yourself and take full ownership, everything changes. Every second becomes a weapon. Every hour becomes a brick. And slowly, that empire you once only dreamed of becomes a reality. So, ask yourself right now, if you died today, would you die as a king or a coward? Would your name echo or be erased? Would your story inspire or be forgotten? The answer isn't in your words, it's in your actions. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. This moment is the battleground. This is where the empire is either born or buried. And the truth is harsh, but liberating. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no miracle, no moment of enlightenment will suddenly flip your life around. Only you can do it. Only your discipline, only your pain, your fire, your sacrifice. Build your empire or be ruled forever. That's the law of this world. And if that doesn't scare you into motion, then nothing will. The reason most men stay broke, weak, and invisible is because they're addicted to temporary pleasure and allergic to long-term pressure. They want the result without the war, the crown without the scars, the throne without the battlefield. That's not how power works. You don't get to rule anything unless you've bled for it. If you want an empire, you need to earn it brick by brick with discipline, pain, and relentless focus. You need to show the world that you're not just another man wishing for a better life. You're the man building it. Every day, every hour, no matter how you feel, no matter what it costs. Because the grind doesn't care about your emotions. The mountain doesn't care if your legs are shaking. The future doesn't care how tired you are. It only cares if you show up and conquer it anyway. When you wake up in the morning, you're already in a fight. You're either attacking your goals or surrendering to weakness. You're either a builder or a drifter. There's no neutral ground in this game. So you better move like a man who knows time is his most dangerous enemy. Wake up and dominate the day before it devours you. Your empire isn't built through comfort. It's built in the cold, in the silence, in the hours nobody sees. While others sleep, you're calculating. While others party, you're planning. While others doubt, you're doing. That's how kings are made. Not by talking, not by dreaming, but by moving with intensity no one can match. You have to make a decision that mediocrity is no longer acceptable. You have to draw the line so deep that weakness doesn't dare to cross it. Tell yourself right now, I am not like them, because you're not. You weren't born to fade into the background. You weren't built to follow. There is a beast inside you that's been waiting for permission to rise, and this is the moment you let it out. You walk different when you have purpose. You speak with power when you've suffered for your vision. And people feel it. They sense the fire in your presence, and they either fear it or follow it, but they never ignore it. That's what happens when you start building your empire brick by brick with sweat, blood, and ruthless intention. Every excuse you've made is just a chain around your neck. Break it. I don't have the money, then figure out how to make it. I don't have support, then become your own army. I don't know where to start, then start anywhere and refuse to stop. The difference between the man who wins and the man who watches is persistence. Not talent, not luck, but the refusal to give up when everything inside you screams to quit. That's where your kingdom is forged. In the silence, in the grind, in the repetition of war against your weaker self. Nobody's clapping for you yet. Good. That means you're still in the lab, still sharpening, still rising. Because when the world finally sees what you've built, it won't just be impressed. It'll be shaken. Look around at the life you've got. You either created it or allowed it, and that means you have the power to change it. Nothing is set in stone. No situation is permanent. Your bank account, your body, your status, your reputation, it's all malleable. It bends to the will of the man who refuses to be average. The man who says, I will grind for 10 years if I have to, because I know what I'm building is worth it. The man who doesn't get distracted by noise, doesn't break under pressure, doesn't flinch when life punches him in the mouth. That man becomes a legend, not because it was easy, but because he never allowed it to be easy. And deep down, you know that's who you're supposed to be. Stop chasing dopamine and start chasing dominion. Real men don't want applause, they want control. Control over their mind, their income, their destiny. That's what empire building is about. Owning your time, commanding your path, becoming unbreakable. You can't build that by chasing likes or living for comfort. You build that by suffering with purpose. By turning pain into progress, by turning fear into fuel. Discomfort is the forge of greatness, and if you keep running from it, you'll never become who you're meant to be. So run towards the fire. Let it mold you. Let it burn away every ounce of weakness until only the king remains. And yes, it's lonely at the top. Yes, people will mock you, doubt you, betray you, but let them. Because while they're wasting their energy tearing you down, you're busy building something they'll never understand. And when the dust settles, when the noise fades, and the results speak louder than any voice ever could, that's when they'll realize you weren't just chasing a dream, you were building a dynasty. An empire so real it silences every critic and humbles every doubter. The legacy you want isn't handed to you, it's carved out of suffering, sealed in discipline, and defended by a mindset that refuses to fold. So you better keep moving, keep grinding, keep building like a man possessed, because one day you're gonna look around at the life you built, the power you hold, the respect you command, the wealth you created, and you'll realize this empire wasn't an accident. It was a decision, a daily decision to rise when others rested, to push when others paused, to lead when others followed. That's the real reward, not just the money, not just the power, but knowing you didn't back down. You answered the call, you faced the pain, and you built your empire with your own two hands. Every second you delay, your empire stays a fantasy. You're not waiting on the right time, you're just afraid to commit. But here's the truth, no one's gonna hand you power, no one's gonna build your vision for you, and no one's coming to save you. You either rise now or live on your knees forever. This is your line in the sand. You don't get to complain about a kingdom you didn't have the courage to build. Stand up, take ownership, start with what you have and make it multiply. I don't care if you're broke, lost, or alone. Every empire began with a man who was hungry enough to change his fate. That man is you. The clock's ticking, your future's watching, and your legacy's on the line. 5 years from now, you'll either be a man with a crown or a man with regrets. Picture the version of you that's rich, respected, and unstoppable. Now go become him. No more doubt, no more delay, no more weakness. Get up and build your empire.